To be successful in Bhakti Yoga, we have to practice under the guidance of a genuine spiritual teacher. What do we need to be successful in any serious professional calling? We can't just make up our own process, and it's not enough just to read books. So we need to study under the guidance of a teacher, a genuine teacher who's fully mastered the art or subject that we want to master. And their professional conduct, their professional standing must be ideal, and they themselves must have studied under a genuine teacher. So spiritual advancement is far more complex, far more subtle than any kind of material advancement. In fact, it's completely inaccessible to the material senses, the mind, the intelligence. That's why the Vedic wisdom tradition states categorically that to be successful in bhakti, to make our loving personal relationship with the Supreme Lord, with Sri Krishna, we must study under the guidance of a genuine spiritual teacher who's mastered the art and science of bhakti, who's fully immersed in a loving relationship of service to Sri Krishna. The genuine spiritual teacher gives us three essential treasures that we couldn't get by ourselves, we can't get by any other means. The first is, he explains what is essential reality. What is spirit? What is matter? What's the difference between spirit and matter? Who controls both spirit and matter? And he also explains what is the perfection of life, to develop pure spiritual love for the Supreme Lord, for Sri Krishna. The second treasure that the spiritual teacher gives us is the process by which we can develop our loving relationship with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Not only does the spiritual teacher give us information, but he also helps us to advance. He looks at the development of the disciples, and he helps each one advance according to their own particular ability and capability. But information and practice are not enough to develop love for the Supreme Lord. Just as in order to have a personal relationship with any exalted personality here in this world, we need a personal relationship with someone who has a personal relationship with that personality. So similarly, in order to have a personal relationship with the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, we need a personal relationship with someone who has a personal relationship with Sri Krishna. That's the spiritual teacher. So the third treasure that the teacher gives is grace. He gives us blessings. He gives us that personal relationship with the Supreme Lord, and he helps the disciple to be established in the loving culture of spiritual service. And that is an incomparable treasure. How can we tell whether a spiritual teacher is qualified? Well, he has to have three essential qualities: knowledge, renunciation, and love. First of all, the spiritual teacher must know the conclusions of the Vedic wisdom tradition and the Vedic literatures, so that he can give fully authoritative evidence for whatever he says, he can answer the questions of his disciples, and he can resolve their doubts. Second thing, he must be fully renounced from desires for gross material sense enjoyment, and also for subtle enjoyment like adoration, distinction, and profit. Thirdly, and most importantly, he must be established in his loving relationship with Sri Krishna. He must be fully absorbed in loving service to Sri Krishna and to his representatives. One who has these qualities, only one who has these qualities, can actually give us adequate spiritual guidance. The genuine spiritual teacher comes in a line of genuine spiritual teachers, unbroken line of spiritual teachers that goes right back to Krishna himself. And this transcendental knowledge, these moods of loving perfection, they're handed down with great love and attention from one spiritual generation to another spiritual generation. Our divine teachers tell us that this loving guidance continues even when the devotee has attained full perfection and is situated in the spiritual world. Now, would you like to know what is the most important thing that we get from these wonderful loving teachers? You'd like to know more? Watch the next video.